Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. This morning we are in Bridgehampton at the Bridgehampton Community Center because it's really pluvial out there. I don't know why they don't use that word pluvial. It's so cute, right? But it's really raining a bunch, and so it's not a good time to be at the beach. So we'll continue our beach series tomorrow. And in the meantime, let's come get on our mats. All right, and settle into that strange leg in front from the beginning. See if you can just, from the beginning, start to be mindful of that. That's going to start setting up your yoga practice with an awareness. Isn't that nice? Coming out into a seated position, going ahead and lengthen the back of the neck. Push that occipital bone. That's that little knob that's sticking up back there in the back of your head. Push that up and lengthen the back of your neck. Your chin's going to come in. Now start to breathe through your nostrils. It's going to feel so open. The pipe's going to feel nice and open because you're not pinching it. Go back to this way. Go back to how you were, probably most of us. I mean, even now, I'm like, what? I can't believe I'm sitting like this, but I do. So lengthen the back of that neck. Feel the pipe nice and open. Now we're going to take our fingertips, put them on our hip bones, thumbs on the bottom of the rib cage. Let's go ahead and stretch that lower spine. Breathing deeply through the nostrils. Now see if you can lower your shoulders, but keep this area stretched. So it was here. Let's make it like this. What a difference, right, that it makes in your presentation if you're sitting like this versus like this. Amazing, right? So keep that lower spine long. That's key. Breathing deeply. And see if you can imagine that you're breathing through the sides of gills on the side. Oh, there's some thunder. On the sides of your rib cage, letting the rib cage open. I know they talk about belly breathing, and that's fine. That's one way of breathing. Of course, there are many ways. But if you can sort of embrace this new way, it might be hard to find it first. You'd be like, oh, where is this? But breathing sideways, you're going to feel like there's so much more air there, and your intercostal muscles will thank you, that's for sure. So breathing sideways. Now we're going to take our hands and we're going to point the thumb towards the ceiling, folding the fingers in, and then we're going to press the thumb back and bring the thumb forward, back, forward like this. Just rotating this humerus, this bone in the socket. So don't move your shoulder. We're not pinching. Don't pinch your back. That is the wrong thing to do for good posture. What you want to do is be flat and wide when you're in perfect posture. You don't want to be like rounded like this. See how it's sort of like you're a circle here? You want to be sort of more like a piece of toast. All right, so take your thumb and then push it back as far as you can, and then bring it forward as far as you can. Both ways, both ways. Really feeling that humerus in the shoulder socket. Do you see how it's just supposed to be there? Now imagine when you're lifting weights, if you first did this to make sure your shoulders are in the right place, you're going to have perfect form. All right, so push those thumbs back, and then you're going to keep the shoulder very quiet as you turn your palm to face the ground. That's where your shoulder should be. If that feels strange, well, take a picture of yourself and you will see what a difference it is when you open this pec minor. That's what we're doing. This pec minor is the culprit. It's the one that pulls our scapula into this position, and this is a position of fear. So we want to be in a position of confidence. So anytime you want to open your shoulders, just do the thumb back. Make sure you're not holding any tension anywhere else, and just rotate your hands like this, and then bring the palm down. And let's see if you can put that onto your knees, and coming into Namaskar Mudra, keeping that nice length in the lower spine. Back of the neck is nice and long. The pipe is open. The nostrils are just really enjoying this air coming in and out, opening up the rib cage. Keeping the pec minor open, soft sternum. A little bit of a smile on your face to start the day. Maybe crinkle up the corners of your eyes. Think of something cute, like maybe your grandchild or a pet or something funny that happened. Let's start our day with a little smile. I'm sure it'll be a different kind of day. And let's take a moment to invite some silence into our lives. And rubbing the hands together vigorously, heating up the palms. Bring the warm palms over the closed eyes. Inhale through the nostrils deeply, sitting up so tall as you exhale. Open the eyes behind the palms and circle the eyes to the right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the eyes, relax the eyes. Inhale deeply through the nostrils. Exhale deeply through the nostrils. Open the eyes again behind the palms and circle the eyes to the left this time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the eyes, relax the eyes. Inhale deeply through the nostrils. Exhale deeply through the nostrils as you open your eyes and let your hands come down. Congratulations, the hard work is done. You made it here. Let's start with the twist. We're going to do our progressive twist that we did. Oh, look at this. Oh, I found this mala. I thought I had lost it. Isn't that great when you find something that you lost? I was like blaming myself, like, you idiot, you care about that. Why did you let that go? But I found it. All right, let's think about the hips as being very, very stable. So the upper body is moving around, but the lower body, look how my lower body's I'm not letting my hips go like that. And this is from an image from this teacher named Vanda Scaravelli. I think I'm saying her name right. And I think she studied with Iyengar, if I'm not mistaken, and just wrote this book about the spine, awakening the spine. And in it, there's an image that she uses of the seed, where part of the seed grows down for the roots and part grows up for the sky. So if you think of your belly button right here as where the soil starts. So under here is this very stable root area, and up here is the bending tree. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to twist just the tree part. Don't let this part move at all. If you want to, you could keep your hand on that opposite hip to remind that hip not to move if you want to do that. But we're going to start with the belly button, twisting, then the lower rib cage, then the shoulders, the neck, the head, and then the eyes. Holding the eyes in the right-hand corner, holding them very tall. Keep the back of your neck long. Don't let yourself slump in like this. You want to be very tall, lengthening through L1 through 5, lengthening the back of the neck, pushing the occipital up, inhaling deeply through the nostrils, trying to relax everything except the part that's working. Eyes relaxed, jaw, neck. And now coming back, see if you can keep your eyes in that right-hand corner as you bring your belly button, lower rib cage, ribs, shoulders, neck, head, and eyes. That's kind of fun. That would be something fun to do with kids. I think kids would think that was a fun idea. All right, so let's do the same thing on the other side. We're going to start with the tummy. Then we're going to do the lower ribs, then the upper rib cage and the shoulders, neck, head, and eyes. And you can push with your hand into your knee to give you a little bit more stability and maybe a little more oomph, but don't try too hard. Don't be forcing yourself into the posture. Let your body sort of surrender to the posture. Oh, it's really pluvial out there now, boy. Keeping the eyes in the left-hand corner. Keep those eyes there. There's a reason. Not just doing that to be weird, but you are sort of spiraling up from your sit bones all the way up to your head and into your eyes. That's kind of cool, right? All right, so let's bring the tummy back. Keep the eyes in the left-hand corner. Lower rib cage, shoulders, neck, head, and then eyes at the end. All right, that feels very good. Let's come into our easy V. We're just going to rock our legs a little bit. Wow, it's really come down. I'm glad I'm not at the beach today, guys. That would be a bit wet. All right, so letting the legs rock in there. Go on ahead and what we're doing is we're releasing these tendons here, and we're really oiling up that hip socket for the day. And come forward if you want to. You can use a block or two, and you can just sort of rest on the block coming forward over your legs. It's a good investment to get a block. Or you could just have nothing. Coming forward, really letting yourself surrender into the pose. Don't be pulling with your arms, forcing yourself to stretch. That's not the way. This is a passive stretch. There are active stretches. Those are valid as well, but this is a passive stretch. We're using the gravity of the weight of the upper body. And just gently wake up our bodies in the morning. Because you know what? We just woke up. It's kind of early, right? So you don't want to really stress your body. We're gently saying good morning to this magnificent vessel that we have, right? And then you can use your blocks. Again, if you want to, you could stretch your block all the way out. And surrender over the leg. Make sure that you roll that left hip back onto the ground. That's going to be a subtle point, but it makes all the difference in your stretching the sacral area. Inhale deeply and come all the way up. Oh, that felt so good. That felt so. Now, I was a dancer, so that's why I'm able to do that. I don't know if I could have done that if you've got a gymnast friend, I'm sure, you know, it comes back quickly, though. It's pretty amazing. I went back to ballet. Let's go on the other side. We're on the left side. I went back to ballet 2 years ago after 25 years. And boy, it was really tough at first, but then after, a few months, a lot of it came back. I mean, I don't have the energy that I had, that's for sure. But you can still feel the music and move properly. And oh, I was doing this, wasn't I? Let's do that, same thing. And then make sure that opposite hip is going back. Yeah, so don't be like saying, oh, I'm old now. I felt that way when I turned 50. I felt like everything was over. Oh, well, half of 100, whatever. Nothing's going to get better from here. And I was really depressed about it. But then I started doing yoga and kind of calmed my nerves. I think it changes, a lot of people say it changes their lives. It certainly has mine. I really enjoy it. And the yoga community is so sweet. Love it. Okay, let's stretch our legs forward. We're going to do our foot exercise, flexing the feet back as far as you can. Now, if this is hard for you to sit this way, you can come up on a block. Maybe you just want to sit on a block. I'm going to do that just for something fun and something different to do. I'm going to sit on the block just to see how it feels. So modify your own practice the way that you want to, because you know what? You're an adult and you know what you need to do for your body. So trust yourself. All right, so we're going to flex the feet back as far as we can, and we're going to crunch the toes. Flex the toes, crunch the toes, flex the toes, crunch the toes, flex the toes. Doesn't have to feel great. Crunch the toes, flex the toes, crunch the toes. Lift the big toe, the second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, and 5, 4. It's really hard to do, isn't it? 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was hard. Okay, flexing the toes back again. We're going to push through the ball of the foot. It's going to look like a Barbie foot. And then we're going to lengthen the toes, crunch the toes, lengthen, crunch, lengthen, crunch, lengthen, crunch, lengthen, crunch, lengthen, crunch, lengthen, flex the foot, circle, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, other way, 5, 4. Try to isolate that ankle. See how I'm not like moving my legs around? Well, not a lot, a little bit. But see if you can sort of isolate, and that's going to give a nice range of motion to that ankle. It's going to feel so good. All right, let's come on to all fours. Going to come into tabletop position. Hands directly under your shoulders. Yeah, don't have your hands like in front of you like this. You want see how they're like underneath. Now, when you're doing this, you're forming this 90-degree angle, which can be a lot of pressure on these little bones right here. So activate your fingertips, and that's gonna employ these muscles that are in here in the arm to join with these guys and sort of act as sort of like a flying buttress, you know, those things like in the Gothic cathedrals. Curling the toes under, activating those fingertips, because we've got weight on the hands. We're going to just put some more weight on those hands. So those fingers need to be activated to help the wrists. And we're going to lift the knees up just maybe 4 or 5 inches, holding it there, flat back. You should be looking straight down. Don't be looking forward, because see how that breaks? Think of your neck as part of the spine. I think sometimes we can forget that. Seems like it's a separate part of the body, but it's one long line. Holding the knees there, bring the knees down to the ground, and let's stretch back into a child's pose just to relax from there. Couple of breaths. And coming back to all fours again. Make sure the hands are underneath the shoulders, curling the toes under there, lifting up the knees, coming into that flat back again. Activate those fingertips. You're looking at them, right? Activate those fingertips, and that's going to really help reinforce the strength in your wrist. If your wrist hurts at any point, immediately stop. Pushing the body back onto the legs. We're going to keep a deep knee bent down dog right now. Oh, yeah. And then we're going to slowly straighten the legs. Feeling that first down dog of the day. Doesn't it feel great? And then we're going to walk towards the hands, hanging over the legs. Just hang over. And you can say yes, no with your head. Let it dangle like one of those, those bobblehead things in the car. I want one of Aaron Judge. I just think he's the cutest thing. He's adorable. All right, and slowly roll up. Let me adjust the angle, and we will do our sun salutations. Okay. All right. Yeah, look how dark it is outside. Can you see that? It is really dark. Yeah, and it's getting darker every morning. I'm noticing this. Okay, yeah, sun's this way. All right, so we are going to align ourselves at the top of the mat and make sure that your feet are parallel with the long side of your mat. Go ahead and lift the toes. Just feel how that feels, to feel that triangle on the bottom of your foot. That'll give you a lot of stability. Check out where your weight is over your body. See if you can just kind of rock forward as one tall unit, not just your shoulders going forward or your hips going back and forth, but your whole body coming forward. See where that point where you're like, your toes are like, they start to grab. And then go back to where, if you're in your heels, your thighs are going to start to grab because they're going to try to help you stay balanced. Come over the center of your foot. You should be able to easily go up like this. Your heels should be rather light. There should be some weight on it, but not back in it. You want it to be easy to go up. All right. Let's inhale deeply. We're going to reach up towards the sky. Exhale, falling forward over the legs. Inhale, hands on the shins. Arch up, look up. Exhale, hands on the mat. Step back into chaturanga. Go all the way down on that exhale. Point the feet. Tighten the tummy, coming up into cobra pose on the inhale. Don't forget about those fingers. Curl the toes under and push back into down dog. This is going to be 2 breaths here. 1. 2. On the inhale, walking forward towards the hands. Put the hands on the shins, arching all the way up. Exhaling, fall forward over the legs. Make sure the head is nice and relaxed. It's going to help your back relax. And then come all the way up to the sky again. If you want to arch back, you can. And coming back into Namaskara Mudra. Now, some people are like, oh, you're doing your hands like this. Can we go like this? You can go like that. But usually I'm in classes that are so crowded that we kind of have to go like this. We could do this, but then everybody has to move. So you can do it either way. Either way is correct. All right, let's do this one more time just to settle it in. And this time, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let you feel your breath. And I invite you to wait for the breath before you make the movement. So you want to... So I'm going to inhale first, then my arm's going to move. I'm going to exhale first, then my body's going to move. Okay? Check it out for you. Your breath is different than mine, so I invite you to really savor it. And let's begin. All right, let's come down to the ground. And today we're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. Again, with that same posture, let's go ahead and remember what we were doing. Fingertip on hip, thumb on the rib cage. Let's lengthen that lower spine. We want to make sure the occipital bone is pushing up towards the sky so we have a nice clear pipe. Okay, then we want to open up our pec minor. Open up your pec minor. Rotate in, rotate out, rotate in, rotate out. And leaving the shoulder there, bring the hands to face the mat. Make sure there's no tension in your shoulders. And you shouldn't be hard here. It's very soft in the sternum. You know, when I was a dancer, I remember seeing the ballerinas, you know, dancing. And they're always dancing from here. They're not dancing from here, anywhere else. They usually, and I just felt like that's where their soul came out. And when I was in India the first time, about 10 years ago, I asked the master, I said, Master, is this where the soul comes out? And he said, that is where the prana comes out. You can call it soul if you like. So they see the prana as coming out of there, and that is just sort of where your prana is. If you're going to be like this, this is, you know, you're guarding yourself. Come into your power. Now, when you change your posture, sometimes there can be ripple effects because people aren't used to you being in your power. So notice what happens when you stand up straight and you're in a neutral position. Things can change. Also, emotions from being here to here. Am I good enough? Am I an imposter? You know, that you could maybe go through something like that. So just your body and you are talking to each other all day long. All right, and let's let the palms come down onto the knees. And let's start with the right hand nostril. We're going to inhale. Close. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close. Exhale left. Exhale left. Close. That was inhale, sorry. Exhale right. Yeah, I was thinking about what I was going to say. You can do this just like this if you want to, but the true posture is this one, where you have this finger blocking the nostrils like this. And some people actually rest their hand on those two fingers, so you can do it this way. That's more the tradition. Or you could actually curl the fingers underneath. That's what most of the masters do. They got the other two. I think there's some sort of energy in the fingers. I should know what that is, but that's a way to do it. Let's try that just for 1 minute. Let's go on ahead and we're going to make our hand like this. So these two fingers are going to curl in, or you could leave them out if you want to. But basically, these are the two fingers that we're going to be using as, I don't know if that's the third finger or the fourth finger, like the thumb and the third finger, I'll call it, all right? So you're going to take your left hand and you're going to put it over your left nostril, and then you're going to leave your right nostril open, and then you're going to close that, open that, exhale, inhale through the left, close both, exhale through the right, inhale through the right, close both, exhale through the left, inhale through the left, close both, exhale through the right, and let the hand come down and breathe normally. I think I feel a difference when I do that mudra with it. I really do. I'm going to ask the master about that next time, because that does feel different for me to actually make the mudra. So I encourage you to do the same. All right, let's bring the hands into, speaking of mudras, Namaskara mudra. Mudra just means position, like a hand position or an eye position, body position. I invite you to acknowledge yourself because you've just created an undeniable demonstration of your love for your health and your body. And when you take care of yourself, you got plenty left over to help other people. Rubbing the hands together vigorously, heaving up the palms. Bring the warm palms over the closed eyes. Inhale deeply through the nostrils. Keeping the back of the neck long as you exhale through the nostrils. One last big inhale, keeping the back of the neck long and the sides of the body long. And on the exhale, let the hands lower down. Namaste. Thank you so much for being with me today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 6:30, hopefully on the beach. We'll see. I don't think it's going to rain tomorrow. But thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your subscription and your comments and likes. I really appreciate it. I'm growing this channel, and it means a lot to me, your faith in me, because I'm very excited to share all of this stuff that I've learned over the years as a professional dancer and as a yoga teacher. So namaste, all the best. Congratulations on taking care of yourself, my friend. 30 minutes every day. Is it a big deal? Okay. Namaste.